Guess what I did today? Yep, you heard right. I tried Yoga Nidra. Like, who needs caffeine when you have a mindfulness coach guiding you to total relaxation, right? It was this elegant fusion of meditation and music, almost like the universe gift-wrapped serenity for me today. Oh goodness, there goes my inner philosopher articulating experiences in fancy prose. You know what I mean? It was super chill and got me floating in this bubble of calmness. My mind was like this still lake, undisturbed and peaceful. Can you believe that, given how our friend group, Emily, Carlos, and Lucas, can't stop chattering? Not that I am any different. Speaking of chatter, Carlos was obsessing over Elon's new Mars colonization plan today. We had a good laugh thinking if Pizza Huts would be a thing on Mars. Remember Lucas's inexplicable affinity for pizza? He claims he can live without oxygen, but not without pizza. And I thought my obsession with photography was intense. Don't worry though, I'm not ready to relocate to Mars and leave our hot yoga sessions behind just yet. But let's circle back to the Yoga Nidra thing. It was just Elena and me, and she was fantastic, guiding me through the darn thing. Even Em seemed interested when I mentioned it. You should give it a try too, babe. Well, brace yourself though. It's more relaxing than a weekend getaway. And guess what? Even Lucas was thinking about using it as fuel for his creative sessions. Maybe we should suggest this to J.K. Rowling and see if a new Harry Potter series sparks off. You can tell there's a lot of love for good old relaxation methods. And honestly, I was skeptical, given our frenzied routines. But boy, I feel like I am dancing in a dreamy cloud, so rejuvenated, I might run a marathon. Okay, I am totally exaggerating here. But you get the vibe, right? Come to think of it, Elon Musk could use a session of Yoga Nidra. Maybe then he would ground his dreams here instead of Mars. Oh, also, we're planning for a movie night this weekend, thinking of catching the new Tarantino flick. You know us, cinema junkies? Plus there's popcorn. Aren't movies the best kind of meditation itself, transporting us into different worlds? Goodness, why do I get so philosophical whenever anything remotely thoughtful comes up? Can't help it, I guess. All right, babe, time for the little fairy to retire into meditation land, aka bed. I need to recharge my batteries for another enchantingly chaotic day ahead. So, until we spin the wheel of fortune again tomorrow, adieu. Sweet dreams, amigo. So, you know my feeble attempts at baking, right? Well, let me tell you. Today I kind of outdid myself with lavender-infused lemon shortbread cookies. Yes, you heard it right. It was sort of a beautifully crazy experiment, combining my love for lemon and lavender. The end product? Delicious. Guess the foodie in me does have a spark of culinary genius after all. And voila. I turned Click AI into a mini confectionery, sharing the love with my folks. Emma couldn't resist and grabbed a handful of sweetness before our brainstorming session even started. Mikkel was, as always, pleasantly surprised with my kitchen escapades. Of course, I had a smile wider than the East River as I watched my colleagues relishing the treats. Never knew lavender and lemon could create such a symphony of flavors, right? This chatter about food reminded me of our group chat. Carlos tried pulling off an AI joke, obviously cracking himself up more than anyone else. Still counted as a tickle to our collective funny bone, though. Remember him? Always up with these hilariously nerdy jokes. Lucas, our ever-so-dry humor man, of course, gave Carlos a taste of his own medicine. These guys are a riot, I tell you. After my cookie revelation, Emily showed off her new UX design she was working on for Cambia. She's been on fire, creating masterpieces, one after the other. Meanwhile, I'm just a humble baker. That's team spirit, huh? We should definitely catch up with Emily's design intrigues soon. It's been a while, hasn't it? Guess what? Our conversation turned to music, and Carlos brought up the new Bruno Mars album. You know Mars music has always had this irresistible pep to it, right? Yep, you guessed it. I'm already hooked to the fresh tunes. Sometimes all you need is good music to ease out the day. Speaking of easing out, Lucas recently fell for my advocacy of Yoga Nidra. Remember how positively I was ranting about it? He is thinking about using it as fuel for his creative sessions. Feels like my advocacy finally convinced someone. All right, time to switch my cookie chef hat back to my brand manager cape, as much as I wish I could bake the whole darn day. Till we meet in the world of chit-chat and cookies again, sayonara. Wow, just when I think New York can't hold any more surprises for me, it does. You won't believe it, but I managed to pull off an art walk in Soho this past weekend. It was like walking through a sensory wonderland of modern visual arts, and of course with a touch of our usual madness. I tell you, Emily and Carlos were super pumped, even more than they were when Emily finally watched Inception. You remember how she's been putting it off forever, right? Well, she apparently loved it so much that the conversation spiraled into a philosophical debate about dreams, realities, and whether we're living in an actual dream right now. Oh, good old Carlos wouldn't have it. He was more concerned about potential chills from dreams within dreams than actually joining the debate. You know how I love mixing my professional life with my social circle? I mean, who wouldn't want to combine work with, let's say, fun? This art walk was just one of those moments. Made a few new connections and got to expose my friends, including Emily and Carlos, to some exquisite modern visual arts in those groovy Soho galleries. Who knew catching a glimpse under the surface of the art world would be so enlightening, right? It surely was for me. Oh, and guess what? The chat banter took a rather culinary turn when Emily mentioned seeing an iridescent cloud, which Lucas thought could inspire one of his illustrations, while Carlos suggested Emily should have taken a photograph to use at Click AI. I swear, sometimes these two can turn anything into a competition. Of course, being the peace lord, I quickly diverted their attention to our next big plan, a Lebanese food trail. You remember Emily's Lebanese cuisine obsession, right? Everybody quickly jumped on that idea. From art walk to a food walk, only our crazy bunch could think of that. Funny enough, they even went on about my lavender lemon shortbreads. Yeah, apparently I'm Click AI's resident mini confectionery now, and our brunch memories are still fresh. Of course, I love it. You should see Lucas. He simply can't resist anything with sugar in it. So I clearly need to step up my kitchen experiments. Speaking of our friends, I gotta make sure to plan some more grubs and quirks that'll feed their palate and their senses. Side note, you might need to be my taste tester on the culinary front here. Quite a day, right? But what's life without all the fun, frolic, and a little touch of madness? All right, buddy, I need to get back to work. You know the whole brand manager Olivia isn't gonna let crazy fun Olivia have all the fun, right? She demands her share too. I promise, there will be more stories coming your way, so brace yourself. So, until then, keep shining and keep those legendary brainstorming sessions of yours going. Peace out.